Gore porn! Yep, that's what the kids are calling it. Hey everybody, I am back with another quick film review for you, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Terrifier 3. Yes, I went and I saw this movie. It wasn't easy, there was only a few theaters. Out of about a dozen theaters, in my area, only three of them were actually showing this movie. Certainly not for everyone, of course. It's very, very gory, as you should expect if you've seen the first two Terrifier films. And just in time for Halloween, right? So perfect timing. It is directed, again, by Damien Leone and written by Damien Leone, if I'm pronouncing that right. It could be Leone. I'm sorry if it's wrong. But again, same writer director as the first two Terrifier films, and it's pretty brutal. So Art the Clown is back. And it's doing well at the box office, considering its budget, certainly, but also considering the fact that not many theaters are willing to show it. And it's really a nice tribute to the slasher genre, which is a genre that seemed to go out of style after the 80s until Wes Craven and others brought it back, in the mid 90s and did it in a way that was like a tribute to classic horror movies. So this one kind of feels that way too, although there's nobody like talking about movies like horror movies and things like that, but it still seems like it's very much a tribute to other horror classics while cranking up the gore, with buckets of blood here. Again, like no spoilers, of course, but yeah, I'll have to get into kind of what it happens here. So if you want to know zero, don't listen anymore. Okay, hit mute, hit stop if you don't want to know anything about this movie, because I'm about to talk about it just a little bit at in terms of how the movie starts anyway. So the third film starts, oh boy, with some pretty brutal kills, but there's a scene here as well with Victoria, who is the mutilated woman. She's the woman with the face that's all messed up from the first film. And okay, so what she does here is, how should I put this? She reincarnates Art the Clown, yes, after he was decapitated by the series' last girl, Sienna Shaw, from part two. Played very well by Lauren Lavera. Now, Victoria is not just Victoria. She's now this possessed evil demonic spirit. She was a little girl and now she's Victoria, I guess. It's like The Exorcist, she's getting possessed. And she's an ally to Art. She almost seems like she's the leader of the two, quite frankly. Maybe she is. Maybe she's a more powerful demon. I don't know. But the fact that Art can't seem to die, makes him more than a man. I mean, he's really not what we thought he was from the first film, right? It seems a bit scarier when we thought it was just some psycho in a black and white clown outfit, just brutally murdering people. Kind of like Michael Myers, but then Michael Myers too was turned into a supernatural entity eventually in the series as well. And Myers also didn't speak too, so they have that in common. So yeah. But anyway, I think. I think they should team up and call themselves Silent but Deadly. Anyway, no. I suppose they had to go supernatural, right? Or else there'd be no sequels. I mean, how else can you explain Art being resurrected the way he was? And that's all I'm going to say. It's also a Christmas movie, I guess, right? Because it takes place at Christmas, and Art is seen in the trailers playing Santa with like blood all over his beard and still the creepy clown face. I'm not sure why the kids in the mall weren't scared of him, but I guess they were too busy, wanting their gifts, being greedy and everything, while their parents are distracted by their phones, not watching their children. That's hilarious commentary. Very typical. So pretty good dark humor there. There's some fun appearances in the movie too, with some very familiar faces showing up in small roles. So let me wrap up here. It's full of creative kills, but for all its shock and creepy clown miming from the wonderfully expressive David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, the question is the film actually any good? Like structurally speaking, like plot-wise and everything, like does it actually work as a movie? Well, all things considered, yes, it really does work well as a gory slasher horror movie. It's straight up in your face, no baloney, just just straight up. Here it comes. This is going to be gory. This is going to be brutal. And it's going to try to outdo itself every time with each new entry, right? So it's going to try and take it further and further every time. Some of the gore, I mean, they really do take it as far as they can. It's a bit overkill for me personally at times, but I do get the appeal. I really do. As a horror movie, it certainly does not disappoint if you're into that sort of thing. It's not something you want to watch with your mom in the room. Right? But still, it's a well-directed film with impressive practical effects as well, if you can stomach them. So Terrifier 3 is, definitely not for everyone, and that fact, well, the fact that it's unrated as well seems to work well for the franchise. I like the fact that this movie is all about the word of mouth, and oh my God, did you see that kill? And all right, that's great. That's just like the way it was with 80s slasher movies. So I'm going to give this film an 8 out of 10 because it is a solid horror movie. It is a bit overkill. It's maybe a bit too much blood and guts for me. I wasn't squeamish about it, but I was kind of like, okay, all right, we get it. You know what I mean? But that's part of the appeal. So hey, what are you gonna do? And its success means it's practically a lock. A guarantee that we'll see Terrifier number 4 as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out this quick review of Terrifier 3. And until next time, peace.